All right, students, we'll be going over the 5.4 puzzle time problems and sort of breaking them down. What you're going to notice is all of the things here are, or most of them, are two logs, but all the answers we're looking for are a single log. And that's, we're just trying to practice the properties here. And there's properties that say if you have addition of two logs, you can combine them using a certain rule. If you have subtraction, you can combine it using a certain rule. Now, those rules you should have in class or from the textbook, but here they are. Okay, so one quick thing, the textbook may have used, or the notes in class might have used different variables. It honestly does not matter whether this is M and N, or A and B, or X and Y, and every different textbook will probably use some different variables. There's not really a standard for this type of thing. Okay, so for how you're going to memorize those things, what is addition becomes multiplication, how that's sort of related, oops. So over here, those are the log rules. Over here, we'll put the exponent rules that go along with it that are related. So you have addition becomes multiplication. That's kind of weird. Why is that? Well, what you can think of is even though we have multiplication in a case like this, multiplication, since they have the same base, the exponents get added. So it's 5 plus 2. There we go. So addition, so I'm sorry, multiplication became addition. Multiplication becomes addition. And you'll want to go from either way. So part of the homework will have you going from two logs into a single log. Sometimes you'll be going from a single log with two numbers back to two separate logs. Okay, so this is sort of why it works, because logs are based on exponents. So the rules for exponents do sort of have their a different relationship here based on the rules for exponents. So the way that I remember this one, I just remember subtraction becomes a fraction. Subtraction becomes a fraction. Or going reverse, fraction becomes subtraction. Like, well, why is that? Well, that's like if you had x to the 5 and x to the 2. You have a fraction, but the rule for the exponents is subtraction. Okay, so that's sort of the rule where that comes from. The other one's not as clear. What's going on here, though, is the idea is that if you have an exponent, you can move it to the front of the problem. Or if you have an exponent or a number in front, you can move it up to the exponent spot. Backwards or forwards. Okay. So if it's n log m and you want to have it just log with an exponent, that's fine. Or if you don't want an exponent for your problem, you can move it out. It's not going to make a whole lot of sense, I'll be honest with you. It's not going to make sense why you would need that rule at this time. But when you're doing calculus, a lot of times it helps to be able to rewrite it in a different way. And it might help you see the answer a little bit easier. Okay, now we've gone over those rules. Let's go ahead and go through a couple problems on this, see what we got. All right, so we got the addition rule here. And I'm going to rewrite it, log 2 plus log 2 is 8. So what it is, the whole idea is we're combining us into a single log, and what it is log of this plus log of that is equal to the log of this times that. So 6 times 8, or 48. That's it. You can stop at that point. You are done. That's all you need to do. So just practicing the logs and knowing those sort of rules. Okay, so we'll do number 2, but they're very, very similar. Once you've seen one and you know how it goes, the other ones become easier. So subtraction becomes a fraction. That's how I remember it. The key thing to remember here is the first one's the numerator, second one's the denominator. And that's just, it's a matter of practice. You do enough homework problems, you'll remember it. Your brain will get used to doing that. Now you can leave it as 10 over 5, or that's the same as 2. And that's it, you're done. So hopefully this page is sort of just keep the rules next to you, okay, as you work through it. You won't have the rules for the quiz, but work through it, and hopefully your brain will slowly memorize them. Okay, let's go over number 7 just real briefly, because there's 2 rules going on here, and we want to sort of talk about both of them. 4 log 2 minus log 5. Okay, so you're sort of, what do you do first? Okay, well, a couple things here. One, this 4 is times this only attaches to this log. The 4 is only multiplying, let's get this thing to stop zooming constantly. The 4 is only attached to that. So you can move the 4 up here, that's log of 2 to the 4th power minus log of 5. Okay, 2 to the 4th power, you can leave it like that, or that's the same as 16 minus log 5. And finally, subtraction becomes a fraction. Log of 16 divided by 5. So we took it from there and simplified it into that. Okay, so all of them are going to be some combination of those rules. Okay, and check your answers on the side. If it doesn't appear there, then we know we did something wrong. But it does. We did see 16 over 5. So it does work. All right, so try those out. Bring questions tomorrow, and hope this helps.